So now we're going to take graphs and write, well, we're going to write equations from what we see, right? We're going to take a graph and write in equations from those graphs. If you notice up here, they give the same function, but they're doing something, right? They're saying, hey, we're only going to give you A or B. So I'm going to show you how you're supposed to do it, how you're supposed to plug stuff in and do it. And then I'm going to show you how you can probably still use the same technique we've been doing the vast majority of the time. So I'm going to do it the way I am supposed to teach you, non-visually. You're using arithmetic, you're plugging things in and working through an algebraic equation backwards. So here we go. This right here is HK, literally. So I go H equals 2 and K equals 5. I go H equals 2 and K equals 5. Please notice that since we've really been given A, we only have one variable unknown. So I write my formula. I go G of X equals 1, which I don't really have to write, right? And then I have absolute value of 1 over B. And then I go X minus H, which is 2 in this case. And then I come out here and say plus 5. All right. And then I take any known point, in this case 6, 6, and I plug it in. So my output is 6. When I get over here, my input is 6 plus 5. I'm just going to work my way through it. I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides, which gives me 1 equals, right, 1 over B. 6 minus 2 is 4. All right, and that's still an absolute value. Okay. And then I'm going to do this. I am going to go ahead and, well, we'll combine that. 1 equals the absolute value of 4 over B. Now here's the thing. Anytime you remove an absolute value, this absolute value, 4 over B, could equal 1, but 4 over B could legitimately equal negative 1 as well. So we should solve for both. 1 equals 4 over B, and 1 equals, or negative 1 equals 4 over B, right? Because if this was a negative 1, the absolute value would turn it into that. It would turn it into a positive 1. We got to get the B off the bottom by multiplying both sides by B, right? B and B. I'm going to pretend. I'm going to kind of keep it separate. If I multiply both sides from B, I get B equals 4. And over here, if I multiply, I got negative B equals 4. Alright. So I do that, and this one could be B equals negative 4 as well. Alright, B equals negative 4 by dividing by 1 on both sides. So we have two possible solutions, right? And they both are true, both of these, because a reflection with an absolute value really doesn't make a difference. So if I was going to write that, if I came up here and said B equals positive or negative 4, I'm only going to write one down here, but I'm going to indicate it. And in fact, I'll put it in the equation as positive or negative 4. Alright? So G of X is equal to A. I don't have to write. Alright, 1... let's do our absolute value over positive or negative 4 right there. Alright. And then we got what? X minus 2 and then plus 5, and that is our equation right there. So a lot of work we probably really don't have to do, but you should know how to do it. I'm going to show you this one the regular way, and then I'm going to go back to this one for the last one. Alright. So if it works, we can also visually do this, and I'll show you how it works. Alright. We can see that H here is right there, it's 1. K here is the Y value of my vertex, so H is the X, K is the Y, that is 6. And maybe it'll give us B. So the only way you'd know if it gives you B, kind of an easy way to do it, is if my Y value, or sorry, my X value changes by 1, right? Then I can assume that 1 is equal to my B. So that's a 1. And then if you look at your Y value, as long as this matches up as your B value in the equation, 1 and 1, this will be your Y value. And it looks like I've gone down from 6 to 3, so I can say that's 3. And there's my equation. Alright. I do notice one thing. I went down from 6 to 3, so the A is negative 3. We can see the reflection taking place. And if you're okay doing that, you can do it that way, but try to do this at least once or twice when you do your homework, and I'll talk about it in class too. So in this situation, I'd get G of X, alright, is equal to negative 3. I don't need to put my B, but I do need X minus 1, right, and plus 6. Now I'm going to come over here and do this the other way again. This one they say b equals 1, so I'm writing b equals 1. It looks like this goes by 2 over here, right? So that's going to be a negative 5, so h equals negative 5, and it looks like it only went down 1, so k equals 1. And let's see if we can find another point. Well, these points are tough to find. I don't like it at all, but I'm going to assume this point right here is negative 1, 8, and we'll go from there. That's what I think it probably is. So I'm going to solve this for a by plugging it in, right? So my equation so far is this: g of x equals my a, right? Absolute value. I don't need to put the b in there. It's x minus negative 5 or plus 5, right? And then plus 1. And then let's go ahead and plug it in. My output is 8, right? Equals what? Negative 1 times x plus 5, right? And then we have plus 1. Oh, what am I doing? Let's get rid of that. Wasn't supposed to plug it in for a, was I? I was supposed to plug it in for x. So let's plug that x in as a negative 1 there. Alright, so we subtract 1 from both sides, minus 1. I get 7 equals a times the absolute value of 4. Yep, that looks good to me. And then I'm going to go ahead and divide both sides by 4. And we get a equals 7/4. Alright, so in the interest of time, I'm going to actually see if this works. If this works, I should go up 7 and over 4 from this point to reach something. So let's see, from here, I'll even point it. If I go up 7, that is 2, 4, 5, 6, 7-ish, and then over 1, 2, 3, 4. That is definitely the right answer. So I'm going to plug it all in, right? We have g of x equals, well, a is 7/4, and I've got x plus 5 plus 1. I want to point out something. Horizontal stretches, and there's a line blurred between horizontal and vertical on this. I could have easily written that with an a value of 7 and a b value of 4, and I'd have got the same thing. It's very similar to a slope, but only with this absolute value equation. It really doesn't happen too often. If that makes things easier for you, cool. If not, pick any one of these methods and make sure it works. Be careful of reflections, right? Be careful when you do B, you can get 2 answers. And that's it. There's page 2. We'll be back soon.